Hello, I'm Tara Brown.
I'm Michael Usher.
I'm Liz Hayes.
I'm Liam Bartlett.
I'm Alison Langdon.
And I'm Charles Woolley. Tonight on 60 Minutes. Wake up, Australia. The dream's over.
We walk away with nothing.
Has it taken a toll on you both?
Sorry.
How smart families
It's a simple equation.
are escaping the mortgage trap
We're better off having the cash to do what we want to do.
and living like kings.
So you're living the dream. Absolutely.
Also,
It's been a bad week for the great Australian dream of owning your own home. On Tuesday, we held our collective breath as the Reserve Bank considered a rise in interest rates. We dodged that bullet, but just days later, were hit with a financial bomb. The worst crash on the Australian stock market for 2 years. $60 billion lost, sparking fears of a new global financial crisis. For record numbers of Australians struggling to keep up with their mortgage repayments, it's all bad news. A generation ago, buying a house was a rite of passage. Bricks and mortar were as good as money in the bank. Not anymore. Nowadays, renting might just put you ahead of the game.
Go, go, go. Go. Oh. Go, Mum, get it.
To the world, Tracy and David Dodd are the very model of Australia's relaxed and comfortable middle class. They're living the dream.
Mum's gone down.
3 kids, mortgage, and a suburban family home on an acre block. But Tracy and David have been keeping a secret from their family and friends. They're drowning in debt. No one to look at you would think that
No.
you're struggling.
No.
No.
It might look like we've got everything, but you don't see the mortgage, you don't see the loans, you don't see everything, and nobody wants to talk about it, you know, because it's embarrassing.
Has it taken a toll on you both?
Sorry.
Oh, it has. It's taking its toll, but you just got to do it.
Like most young couples, the Dodds invested their heart and soul and every spare cent they had into the ideal of home ownership, the biggest mortgage their double income would allow. But last June, Tracy lost her job in the construction industry and David was made redundant. Just to keep money coming in, he's taken a lower paying job. Ever since, the Dodds, like tens of thousands of middle-class families, have been going secretly broke in the suburbs.
We went from having a really great income, including a company car, fuel card, phone, things like that, to basically losing all of that.
So do you have more money going out each week than what you've got coming in?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
How much difference are we talking about?
Probably, again, very embarrassing, around $400, $400.
This is the outskirts of the Gold Coast, and when you look around and see the big, shiny new houses, the nice lawns and 2 cars in the driveway, you can't help but think life must be pretty good here. But this version of the great Australian dream is just a facade. Nowhere is mortgage stress being felt more keenly than right here. And the figures are staggering. 1 in 50 families are at risk of losing everything. The number of Australians behind on their mortgage repayments by more than a month is at an all-time high. Areas of mortgage stress can be pinpointed right around the country, mostly in areas that just 5 years ago were booming. Families who borrowed to the limit in the real estate gold rush are the ones who are now struggling to pay their bills.
We've never overspent, never gone outside what we can afford. We're just not spontaneous spenders like that. We'll just go and blow it.
Phil and Sandra Box live in Capel, 2 hours south of Perth, with their teenage boys Aidan and Keegan. Sandra is a school teacher. while Phil runs his own business as a mechanic. Despite 40 years of hard work, their spiralling debt has forced them to come up with a drastic solution.
From that nice family home to the takeaway store.
Well, we're comfortable enough here to get us through. The telly will go over here with the PowerPoint and probably the lounge around that side.
This will be their new home, an empty takeaway shop in an industrial block.
Out here we've got enough room for our bedroom to be set up. That'll be storage and wardrobe, that sort of thing in the cool room.
Where's the bathroom?
Bathroom's out the back. You've got to go through the rain, unfortunately.
The shop is one of 6 properties Phil bought in this industrial estate. He runs his business here, but the investment was intended to see them through retirement.
So this was meant to be the retirement fund? So no one could accuse you of sort of just waking up one morning and going, oh, wow, we want to retire in a couple of years. What are we going to do?
Oh no, we had a plan. We just bought our own property and intended to live off the income from that property.
Ironically for Phil, things started to go badly when his mechanics left to join WA's mining boom. The global financial crisis, interest rate hikes, and the spiralling cost of living have combined to create a crippling mortgage squeeze.
It's just the disappointment, I suppose, of coming down from being in a very comfortable position to a point we're not accustomed to, that's all.
Food's gone up, rent's gone up, mortgages have gone up, petrol's gone up. Nothing has come down but house prices. Really working against us, isn't it?
What did those people do wrong?
I don't think it's necessarily a case of doing anything wrong. Sometimes it's bad luck and everything going wrong at the same time. Once one thing falls down, quite often the whole pack of cards kind of comes down with it. Should we go and feed the fish? Yeah.
Property analyst Chris Gray believes what is wrong is Australia's obsession with home ownership. Instead of chasing the dream and pouring everything into one asset, he believes there is another way.
Should we see if there's any fish on the steps?
Chris never considered buying his multi-million-dollar home on Sydney Harbour. It's a rental.
So if you were to buy the family home, you wouldn't be able to get this?
Oh, there's no way we could afford it. So no matter what your budget is, you can never afford the house that you really want. So, yeah, I'd much rather have the view and rent it instead.
So you're living the dream.
Absolutely.
He says owning your own home is overrated, and it's time Australia followed the lead of Europe and Asia, where renting is a way of life.
A lot of expats go to Hong Kong and Singapore and they get in the lifestyle of renting, and it's actually nice and flexible. And they come back to Australia and they think, well, why would we buy the family home?
Come on.
You don't meet many Australians like the Semmons family.
Should we give Opal the carrot? Opal.
They have no interest getting into the property market. And why would they?
I mean, what's this property worth where you're living?
Oh, I think it's worth $3 million, I've been told.
They rent 10 acres here in the Tweed hinterland, with breathtaking views from the Queensland border down to Byron Bay. There's plenty of room for David and Kristen and their 5 gorgeous kids.
Like, we don't have to worry about, you know, have we got enough petrol in the car for the week and all those kinds of things. We just put some more in.
You've got that bit of money, so if you want to spoil the kids, you can.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And we're 5, that's a lot of spoiling. It's not cheap.
OK, honey, let's finish off your hair, shall we?
Instead of being slaves to a mortgage, they're investing their time and money in a new business, a kids' hair salon right in the heart of the mortgage stress belt.
So you like playing in the car? Yeah, it's lots of fun, isn't it?
I've got a mum here who owns a real estate, and she was telling me they've just had their biggest boom at the beginning of this year because of all the foreclosures.
Does it make you glad that you rent?
We haven't basically mortgaged our future based on our house. So
life's good for you?
It's very good for us. We're very free, we're very, I guess, we're almost very secure, even though
It used to be you had to have a house to be secure.
Jam! Oh, wow.
With the money left over at the end of each week, David and Kristen can afford to treat their kids to a day out.
Oh, my God. Whoa!
The decision to rent also means fewer arguments about money, one of the major causes of marriage breakup.
We have peace between David and I. Look, honestly, there's so much stress that happens between husbands and wives over money. And I think money just amplifies things.
Yep.
Does it put a strain on the relationship?
Sometimes.
Sometimes it does. For sure.
Yeah.
Won't talk to each other for a couple of days.
The strain is showing. Tracy and David even dipped into their superannuation fund to meet their mortgage repayments. But it wasn't enough. The Dodds have just made the heartbreaking decision to abandon the dream and sell up.
We're going backwards and backwards. We're going to lose everything. And because of the market now, it's gone worse. Not even one person has come out here to have a look at this house.
It was our big dream, and it's a bit of a shock that to think that you've worked so hard to now be walking away with nearly nothing.
Oh! Yay! Nice work!
They've tried their best to shield the kids from the stress of their financial worries.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Gotcha!
But at 8, their eldest son Caleb is aware that things have changed.
His dream is always to join the army since he was 5. And he did say the other day that it'd be better, Mummy, if he went to college. And I said, well, why is that, darling? He said, well, that way I could get a better paying job and I could help you and Daddy out. And so he does. He understands. And he's such a good kid. We've got great kids.
It's this sort of pressure that's forcing more and more Australians to rethink how they can secure their family's financial future.
There's a massive social stigma against renters. It's always thought that poor people rent. If you look at purely the numbers, it actually makes more financial sense to rent your own home than it does to buy it. The golden rule was that rent money is dead money, whereas the rule now is rent money is only dead money if you don't reinvest the equivalent somewhere else.
Is that Tigger?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah. Tigger!
You know, we're better off renting, keeping our overheads low and having the cash there to do what we want to do. It's a simple equation.
So you've got no regrets about the decisions you've made?
We've got all the things that happen to every family, you know, and don't tell me that running a business and 5 kids isn't stressful, but we haven't added to it.
Yeah.
You know, we've taken off what was one of the biggest pressures and it's made it easy. We can enjoy it.
I can climb it.
So you don't have to take them to fancy places, do you?
No, just the park.
No way!
So much. We've refocused our lives and realised that our children and our happiness is much more important. So no more stressing, just, yeah. And it doesn't matter what we live in as long as we're all together.